PvPoke just updated their top teams, and of course, we're going to have to take a look at the number one team here, which is going to be the Marowak. We're going to have the Saysop of Steelix, as well as Sebastian in the back. This is actually a team that I've been using before. This is actually a team that I made a video about this season still, and so I'm curious and if this team still works. It was alright for me the last time, but there were some weaknesses, and we can talk a little bit about it, and if you want to maybe run this team right now. This team is going to be the, of course, Marowak in the lead, which is going to be here to mainly use your shields. This is mainly here where you want to use your shields because you're going to have such great matchups in the two-shield scenario. Your Saysop is going to be the Shadow Steelix. This Pokemon is supposed to bait out certain Pokemon. One of them, for example, a fighting type Pokemon. As you're going to have Thunder Fang plus Psychic Fangs, you're going to be able to apply a lot of pressure even against like fighting type Pokemon as you are a Steel type. And we see it here actually in the first battle. This is not scripted or anything like this. I didn't know about that. But there is going to be an Annihilate against us, and with that, we are going to be in a position where we are going to be able to go ahead and go for the Psychic Fangs, do some solid amount of damage, and try to farm them down now. Now it's only, our Marowak here, which can go for a Bone Clap against the Corviknight. It's not going to do that much damage, but I have a lot of energy still left. It's still going to be enough to knock them out, and we can go for another charge move against the Credilli. And with that, we know already, the first battle is going to be ours. There's no ground type, there's no fighting type more left. Okay, there was a fighting type before. But we're going to have now the Credilli up against our Bastiodon. And this means that we're in a very good position. As the Grass Knot barely hits us, we still have the option to even go into our Steelix if they want to debuff us eventually down the line. We are able to shield up this move as well if we just want to, and yeah, we are going to be able to win this battle. There's nothing that the opponent can really do here. They don't do fast move damage, they don't really do a lot of charge move damage, and at the end of the day, I'm always able to just smack them down. And yeah, while they're still trying to play it out, this is going to be it for the first game quite easily. It was quite an obvious one. As we see here as well, they can still go for another move. But even if they still have the Steelix there, which actually triple resists the fast move, so as long as we're not at 1 HP, we would have even been able to get some moves off there. That was even a little bit of a sneak peek in terms of the ranks I got there. It was a nice 3-in-1 that you just saw on the screen. But yeah, we're going to take a look here at the team and see on what we can do with it. We're going to have the Ice Wind coming through here. From the opponent, in comes the Annihilate against us. And we're going to be able to go for the Psychic Fangs, which will allow us to, again, do a little bit of damage. But also we just bait out the Fighting type Pokemon, which is quite important as we want to have at least here still that Pokemon out for our Bastiodon to win that. And so, yeah, we're going to be able to just hopefully farm it down here. I'm going to invest a shield. I'm not too sure if this is smart or not. We will find out shortly, as the opponent is going to go for another move, and I will catch that move onto my Weibo Bastiodon, being able to take that hit quite a bit easier. In comes Dusknoir. This Pokemon is going to have access to the fighting type move of the Dynamic Punch, and I am now forced with that to go ahead and go for the shield. As we see here now the charge move coming in, there is going to be the Excellent from us as well onto the stone, and we're going to try our best to go into our Marowak, but we see it already as well, it doesn't work out great for us. We are going to, let the move go, but luckily I'm still going to be able to go for a Bone Clap, and that is easily going to be enough to knock them out here. And we will see as well that this is going to be now the Wiki stuff coming in, and sadly it's not enough to knock them out. They're going to be able to farm me down, and we can move on to the next one. So, we're going to have here yet another Corviknight in the lead. Not a deal, but as we will see, there is going to be the Goodra coming in now. We're going to be able to go for the Psychic Fangs spam, and as we will see here as well, we are going to now see the Aqua Tail coming through. This is fine. We can go for the Psychic Fangs again, and this is looking quite solid for us. This is going to be an okay matchup for us. It's not the best matchup. They have super effective coverage. We resist the fast moves. We can still go for the Psychic Fangs though here, which is going to be great, because with that, we are going to be able to just go for get the shield here basically, which is great for us. The weakness for this team is though that there is every single Pokemon weak to the water typing, and that is going to be a bit more awkward, as we will see here now. The Bone Club coming through, this is also a great catch from the opponent, but at the end of the day, all the energy that they have stored on this Pokemon is going to go up against our Bastiodon, which is going to be able to take those hits quite easily. The weakness of Bastion is that ground typing that they have with a fast move, but not so much the charge moves. We can soak them way easier on this Pokemon than on any of our other ones. So yeah, this is going to be alright here. We have the Flamethrower coming in. We're going to get the KO here. We have 2 shields still on our side, but we have to invest those shields now against also the opponent's Goodra, as the Aqua Tail is definitely a bit too tricky to deal with as they swap out into the Azumarill. Showcasing yet another water type, that Pokemon, or like water type damage option there at least, with Bubble being super effective, as well as they have access to Ice Beam. And of course, we are going to be forced to use a shield here, and I'm going to be forced to go for a charge move as well. as a Bone Club is coming through here very soon. I have now the option to go for either another Bone Club or I should swap out of here. What do? I go for the swap out, and I don't know if this was the right choice. Because what we have here now is we're going to have the opponent going for the player off. Of course, it's going to knock us out. But they are going to be able to, mostly still take this hit here. Can they? Stone just coming through. This is going to be enough to knock them out. And now it's only Gudra. But Gudra just barely got to the move with that. And with that, they're going to be able to knock us out. And so far, not so great. But it's very, very close battle. So let's see if we can turn it around here. And next opponent. We have Marowak against the Sandsash. That is going to be quite a positive lead matchup for us. It's a swap out into the Azumarill again. I'm going to be able to get a little bit of energy, and I want to try to catch the Ice Beam onto my Bastiodon. But of course, they could run the Hydro Pump, which is especially recently considered a little bit more of the more common move. But considering what they have in the lead, I could have seen as well that they don't have Hydro Pump. Because a lot of times, if you have like something like an Ice type in the lead and you have a Pokemon here with Ice type coverage, I guess you could have run Ice Beam and Hydro Pump together and then now play rough. But it's always kind of nice to have a Pokemon like Azumarill. He has a Sasop with an Ice type in the lead because you have Ice type coverage as well into the Azumarill. So what you're gonna get out is the Pokemon that are weak to Ice, and you can still punish them then with the Azumarill. And so yeah, here we are gonna be able to go for the Flamethrower. This is gonna force the near KO here, but we're just gonna take this opportunity to get a ton of energy. As we will see here, the Ice Punch is coming in. We're gonna be able to go for the full farm run against the opponent, and in comes now. Let's see. It is going to be the Jellicent from the opponent. This is going to be an okay matchup, especially as we still have the Steelix left. Steelix is still going to do super effective fast move damage against the opponent. We have to kind of remind that because this is going to be kind of important now, because we get the opponent low already, but we have to keep our shield for the Steelix, because Steelix is the main way of damaging this Pokemon. And we see it here as well. I go into the Steelix, I get a lot of damage onto them already. I can invest the shield, because I don't really care too much about anything else here. And we are going to be able to just go for the full farm down, and we can win this matchup as the opponent decides to forfeit. So a little bit better now. 2-2 so far. Well, let's see what's going up next. We're going to have here the Fortress against us. That is going to be a matchup that we are going to be alright against. It is still not the best, but it's also definitely not the worst. So like, it is what it is. As you will see, we are going to be able to just let the move go. This is fine. This is going to be move going through there. We're going to have the Greninja coming back in. Greninja we saw already earlier. The benefit here is basically that Greninja is going to be able to do a lot of damage against us, but we have a lot of Phosphor pressure against them. With Thunder Fang being super effective, we're in a very good spot here as we can shield this move up. I need to get rid of the Greninja. I don't really want to do anything else here. And as we will see, we're going to be able to get that KO, and we can see the swap out now into the Dedenne, as we will be able to go for yet another charge move. This is going to be interesting, as this is going to allow us to get the shield, but they're going to be able to knock me out here now with a Play Rough. That is enough easily from this range. But I have two ground types total on the team, with also Steelix still. But even the Pokemon that you have as a closer here, the Bastiodon, is going to be still very good against the Dedenne. Dedenne is not going to be that great against it, but here again, we're actually going to be in a position where we would be able to take the hits a bit easier even there. But if we catch a Play Rough, that would be perfect. It's a Parabolic Charge. That is still alright for me. As we are going to see, I can go for a lot of fast moves there, which allows us to get a ton of energy. And that energy is going to be very, very helpful for us. As the Fortress comes back in, I can go for a charge move. With that, I cannot force them to go for a shield as well, which they do. And at this point, I am even going to be able to farm them down. And that means I am going to be able to win the battle. And we can move on to the next opponent, where we will face a Florges. This Pokemon seemed to be quite common as well recently. I had a coaching session this morning. Florges was on definitely at least one team per set, so quite a bit more common recently. Or again, by the way, if you want to have coaching as well, link down below. Also on the end cap, by the way. But also, as you can see here as well, it's not the worst matchup for us. We can go for the Bone Club, but they caught the move onto the Talonflame, which now allows us to go into the Bastiodon, which now allows us to get rid of the Talonflame before they are even able to go for a singular charge move. In comes though the Annihilate, and that is going to make things just way more complicated. Does that mean that we instantaneously lose here? Not directly, but nearly. As I try my best to get them low, my only hope is that I can go for the no shield here, and then I have to use both shields, and then hopefully can farm down, because what I get is I get a free fast move in every single time they go for their own charge move. And this is exactly why I also kind of left my Steelix here for the end, because that is my only kind of, not direct win con, but my only kind of hope here at least, And as we will see, we're going to be able to go for the full farm done, luckily. But they still have the floor just with a charge from the back. And so while this was a bit of an unlucky matchup there as well, at the end of the day, it just kind of was very, very close. And I think I'm alright with that. Very bad lead. We're going to be forced to swap out. And they have access to, of course, the drill run. So, of course, we're going to naturally shield here, right? Nope, we do not. And they also decide to go for the bait here, which is even better and funnier. But I even would have been able to take a drill run. At the end of the day, they always can outspeed me anyway. It doesn't really matter. If they want to hit one, they're gonna hit one eventually here. And so here we have the Dust Clubs against us. I can take a hit. I should have went for the Psychic Fangs here, but I try to be greedy and try to go for the Crunch, which does not work out because apparently they actually win Team Pitta against us, which I didn't know, which I wasn't aware of at all. But yeah, we are going to be forced to let the move go. I need to keep my shield still there, as they're still going to have the Fearow. Do I get the shield advantage here? This would be amazing. Let's find out. We are going to be able to do that, and so we can stop out now into the Bastion. And they have their own Bastion in the back, which means we should be able actually to win this battle. I don't think there's a possible way even that the opponent is going to be able to win this battle, as we are in an advantage in kind of any kind of way. We have been first in this matchup, so we have an energy advantage here. We have the shield still left, and we are still a lot more health there as well. So like, we should be alright. I don't really see how we would lose it, and the opponent did realize it as well, and they decide to forfeit. So next up, we are going to have here the Altaria, of course a bad lead, and we swap out into our Steelix to bait out the Empoleon. Empoleon is fine. Empoleon is exactly actually what I want to face here, because that's a Pokemon that Bastion cannot hit. But what we can do is we are going to be able to just hit Pokemon with it then instead. And that is going to be fine here. We're going to be able to farm down all the way down. And we still have all of our shields. So it wasn't a bad matchup. And the cool thing now is we're going to get out the opponent's Altaria. And we have the Bastion, which means that the Altaria has nowhere to throw their charge moves. If they shield this move up, it will be even funnier. But they don't. And as we will see, Bastion's coming in. They sub out. They're going to go into their Jirachi. And I will be able to easily win this battle. Good game to the opponent, nothing they can do here. Final battle. So, final battle is always here to reflect on the team. Team itself is okay. I think it's a solid team in a lot of cases. I don't really feel like I played very bad or anything like this with this team. I showcased this team already earlier. I'm always honest with you, I still feel like the water type weakness can sometimes be overwhelming. But that being said, I still think it's a very solid team. I do think this team is definitely very solid to climb with as well. Is it as strong as the first #1 team on PvPokes that we showcased on this channel here as well? I would not say so. I like that one way more. But yeah, this is basically it for this team. Like, this team itself, easy functioning though. Like, you're going to have double steel in the back, and we have a ground type in the lead. We have the size up basically of the Steelix in case there's something that we can't really deal with our lead, then we can go ahead and go into that one. But a lot of times we can just even play out the lead with our lead there as well, and we should be kind of fine. But as you can see, there's going to be now the Spiritomb against us. Very interesting and rare Pokemon. I wish that Spiritomb gets a little bit of a buff, like give it a cheaper move and you're going to be fine, because the Rock Tomb is already cool. Just get like more, I don't know, weak, dark and ghost type moves there, I don't know. But as you can see, we're going to have, the charge move coming through against the opponent's Wigglytuff, which we can completely hardwall, which is perfect, as this is now going to be interesting. We're going to be able to try to go for another move. As we see the Stone coming in here, let's see what the opponent tries to do here. With that, they decide to let the move go, which means I have everything into range for me to farm it down. And that means, we're going to be able to win this final battle. And so, this is going to be it for this video. Let me know down below what Pokemon I should build a team around next. And with this, very easy and the well-deserved win here, of course. I just want to say thanks so much for watching, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.